Okay, hi there everybody. Hi there Victoria. Okay, let's see. Next stream is going to be on Thursday, which will be the 3rd of July, and that will be 3:30 p.m. UK time. Okay, so we were doing an article about the Hitler diaries and the Sunday Times' publication of these, and they were a fake. So hello to Maurits, hello to Manisco, hello to Julia, wonderful to have you, and hi there to Vitali as well, and to Patricia. Yay, people are streaming in now. Okay, so this was about the authentication of the diaries. So let's see. Hamilton said that he knew the signature wasn't true, authentic, valid, actual, kosher, because he was constantly offered fake Hitler documents. So, authentic, says Vitali. Authentic, says Maurits. Hi, Yasmin. Lovely to see you. From me, good morning. Authentic from Julia as well. Okay. So, the signature wasn't true. No, something is true or not. Authentic for Victoria as well. The statement he made was true. Authentic for Manisco. Valid. If the signature's not valid, it's the correct signature. It's just it doesn't work in this context. Actual, no. And kosher would work as well, but it's a rather unfortunate word if you're talking about Hitler. So authentic, says Patricia as well, and that would be right. Authentic. Yes. Oksana, hey, lovely to see you. Authentic for Yasmin as well. Okay. So, shortly it will be established without any question and without any panel of experts, which I think is superfluous. At the present time, the whole affair will die down, and it will be a great hoodwink, bamboozle, hoax, prank, pretend in the history of mankind. Hoax, says Vitali. Hoax, says Oksana. Bona fide for Patricia. Hoax, says Julia. Authentic, bona fide for the last one. Yes, Patricia, definitely. Hoax for Julia, hoax for Victoria, hoax for Yasmin, hoax for Maurits, hoax for Patricia. Okay, let's see. To hoodwink is a verb. To trick somebody is to hoodwink. To bamboozle is to persuade somebody with smart words, to confuse them, to push them into doing something. A prank is just funny, and I think this is more than a prank because they're trying to get money for it, and that makes it more than a prank. A pretend, no, the pretend is only a verb. It's got to be a hoax. A hoax is where you think somebody pretends something is real when it's not. Particularly a hoax call to the emergency services. So bona fide means real or in law genuine without intention to deceive. Yes. And this is definitely a hoax. A hoax is not bona fide. Bona fide, good faith. He was not wrong. Within 2 weeks, rigorous legal autopsy, forensic, statutory analysis had exposed the diaries as fakes. And he was not wrong. Within 2 weeks, rigorous legal autopsy, forensic, statutory analysis had exposed the diaries as fake. Hi Lando, lovely to see you. Forensic for Lando, forensic for Vitali, forensic for Julia, forensic for Maurits, forensic for Victoria. Okay. Good afternoon, Woo. Great to have you from India. So, legal analysis. Legal analysis would be analysis of the law in question. Forensic for Oksana. Forensic for El Billy. Welcome, El Billy. Autopsy is the analysis of a dead body. Statutory is what is done, what must be done legally. But forensic, scientific analysis. Forensic works very nicely. It would be a nice scientific analysis. Savage. Savage is aggressive, like a wild animal. Like a wild animal, savage. Not only, as Hamilton had pointed out to the BBC, whoops, this is going to be too long. Not only, as Hamilton had pointed out to the BBC, was Hitler's supposed signature not accurate, but chemical testing revealed that their paper, glue and ink were not constructed, manufactured, formed, concocted, generated until after World War II. Vitali goes for manufactured. Manufactured for Oksana. Manufactured for Maurits. Manufactured for Victoria. Manufactured for Patricia, El Billy and Julia. Manufactured for Yasmin. Constructed is talking about a building. You construct a building. You construct a hospital. Formed to me talks about something natural. This rock was formed 100 million years ago. Made or produced, yes. Concocted, to concoct is to a mixture of strange things. Generate. You generate electricity. Manufactured, says Manisco. Made, manufactured, made in a factory. We're not produced, manufactured, made in a factory, manufactured. The created, yes, Lando, definitely. Created, all of these things were not created until after the Second World War. The diaries were pelted, peppered, salted, seasoned, powdered with errors, modern day phrases and historical inaccuracies, sometimes referring to information that Hitler could not have possibly known. So peppered says Oksana, peppered says Vitali, peppered says Julia, peppered says Maurits, peppered says Victoria. Okay, so to pelt means to throw a lot at. It's pelting with rain. Peppered for Yasmin. El Billy goes for salted. Manisco goes for peppered. So let's see, we're salted with. I think if you salt something, you put something there for somebody to find. The text was salted with clues. Okay, is to put there on purpose, but hidden away. To season with salt and pepper, powdered no, but were peppered with bits of peppered, definitely. I made some bags and they're pretty beyond my wildest dreams. That's wonderful, P. Peppered. To pepper something, to put bits of here and there. Okay, this town is peppered with bars, strewn with. Strewn is a good verb, to strew. In the consequence, outcome, effect, wake of these revelations, the Sunday Times quickly abandoned its serialization and printed an apology. So Wake says Maurice, Wake says Julia, Wake says Oksana. Wake says Vitali. In the aftermath. Aftermath fits well. In the wake says Victoria. Wake says Yasmin. Wake for Lando. Outcome. In the outcome of these. Outcome doesn't work very well, El Billy. I would say, I would structure it differently. The outcome of these revelations was that the Sunday Times quickly abandoned. Wake says Manisco. Wake says Lionheart. Welcome, Lionheart. Wake says Patricia. Okay, the wake are the waves that go behind a boat. So when a ship is sailing, you'll see this wake, this turbulence in the water going out behind it. Or a wake can also be a party that you hold when somebody dies. It's party. Following these revelations. Yes, in the wake of, and it's in the wake. The consequence of these revelations was that. The effect of these revelations was. But in the wake of. During the outcome. No, it doesn't work very nicely. I would say the outcome was, following these revelations, the Sunday Times quickly abandoned its serialization. Off the back of these revelations. Yes, that's quite good, off the back of. But the wake, in the wake of something. Your baby's to be easy on the eye. Okay, in the wake of. In the wake of is the aftermath, the after effect. In the wake of the scandal, the Prime Minister resigned. So Stern also publicly apologised for having dropped, come, fallen, sunk, passed for the hoax. Oksana says fallen. Vitali goes for fallen. Maurice for fallen. Okay. Fallen for Victoria. Fallen for Julia. Fallen for Yasmin. It's this for as well. Having come for. Having dropped for. Fallen for, having come for. Come doesn't work, unfortunately, elderly. Fallen for. You could fall for somebody, you fall in love with them. To sunk for, no. Falling for. To be the victim of, yes. I fell for his sleight of hand, his sleight of trick, his of hand. Sleight of hand is what a magician does, for having bought into the hoax. But it's to fall for. You fall for something, is to be tricked by. I fell for his sweet sounding words. Yeah, you fall for somebody, you fall in love with them. But to fall, you fall for a lie, you fall for a trick. Okay, so to fall for. For having fallen foul of the hoax. Yeah, fallen foul would also work. Okay. Under, force, stress, weight, pressure. Heidemann revealed that the East German source supplying the diaries was Konrad Kujau, a counterfeiter who turned out to be the author of the works. Pressure, says Julia. Pressure, says Oksana. Pressure for Maurits. Pressure for Leinhardt. Pressure for Elbili. Pressure for Vitali. Pressure for Manisko. Pressure for Victoria. Pressure for Patricia. Under Pressure by Under Pressure. Okay, Pressure for Gull as well. Under Force, no. Under Stress, no. Underweight, it's Under Pressure. Yeah, when you're being pressurized by somebody. Under Pressure, he revealed that his source was Kujau. Kujau was a skilled artist, but his forgeries were remote, distant, afar, far from sophisticated. Under duress, yes. Far, says Lando. Far, says Julia. Far, says Maurits, and far for Vitali. Far from sophisticated for Victoria. Far from for Patricia and Leinhardt and Yasmin and Elbili. So if it's far from, it's very different from. This work is far from good. This restaurant is far from cheap. Okay, we use this structure quite a lot. Okay, remote from, a remote place out in the desert, was distant from. I don't know, London is distant from Tokyo. Afar, from afar, I can see you from afar. A post-positive adjective or an adverb. We're far apart from. Normally, Manisko, two things are far apart. So, yeah. Madrid and Moscow are far apart. Manu, buenas. Are far from sophisticated. Okay. Seeking inspiration, he had imitated, plagiarized, mimicked, emulated large parts of Max Domarus's book Hitler, Speeches and Proclamations 32 to 45, and as a result had copied word for word some of the chronological and factual mistakes in that book's first edition. Either you're a good forger or you ain't one. That's very good, yes. Far from sophisticated from Manu. Yeah, either you're a good forger or you're a jailbird. Plagiarized for Vitali, imitated for Victoria, imitated for Maurits, plagiarized for Julia, plagiarized for Manu, plagiarized for Oksana, plagiarized for Lando, mimicked says should work as well, emulated says Elbili, seeking inspiration, imitated says Manisko, plagiarized says Yasmin. So let's see, plagiarized says Patricia, plagiarized says Sir, welcome sir. Okay, had imitated large parts. I guess it works. Had mimicked. To mimic is to be the same as. Mimic is very often, mime is physical, but it would work as well. Good morning, Victor. Emulated. To emulate is to try and do something in the same way someone else has done. Let's see, I think all of these work, but very clearly plagiarized is the best. plagiarize, okay, Shakespeare, it's said that he plagiarized the plot of his plays. Is very possible. To plagiarize is to copy the work of somebody else. And if you get at university, if you get caught plagiarizing, they're going to fail you. To plagiarize it is to steal and copy the work of someone else. High Rauschen for plagiarize for Rauschen as well. Okay, so plagiarism. They all work, but plagiarize is clearly the best. Also, plagiarized is more critical. It's doing something wrong. Had pirated. To try to give the journals a more personal feel, he had imagined a more bland, hackneyed, prosaic, flat side to the Führer's life, throwing in entries like imitated would suggest something along the lines of a pastiche. Definitely. Taras Bulba is plagiarized from Romeo and Juliet. I hate people who plagiarize. It's cheap. I agree with you. Definitely, Patricia. Bland for Langer. Plagiator in Latin. Very good, Manisco. Bland, says Yasmin. Flat, says Victoria. Bland, says Julia. Bland, says Manu. Bland, says El Billy. Bland, says Maurice. Prosaic or bland, says Patricia. Prosaic, says Oksana. Flat is Manu's B, option B. The student was penalised because he plagiarised most of his essay from a website. Hi Aisha. It's great to have you. You managed to pass the proficiency examination last month. Thank you for coming back. I'm so glad you passed, Aisha. It's been a while, but it's really good to see you. I'm glad to hear that. Mundane or prosaic, says Vitali. Okay, this is very interesting. Bland. I guess bland, but bland I would say is more for a flavour. This soup is bland. It needs some pepper. It's not giving credit where credit is due. Hackneyed is something that you use again and again. So a hackneyed phrase. A flat side. Bland is for food. Flat. Without gas, without bubbles. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good to hear, Aisha. And thank you for coming in and telling us. Julia goes for prosaic. Prosaic is everyday. Things that happen every day. Normal, everyday things. And normal, everyday things aren't necessarily boring or flat. But it's nothing out of the ordinary. Prosaic. Brilliant. Well done, Patricia, Oksana, and Vitali. Yeah? Okay. Prosaic. Prosaic is every day. Bland immediately conjures up porridge in your mind. Yeah, I was thinking about porridge. Hackneyed too many times. Worn out. Used the same. Yeah? As in a hackney carriage. An old horse that's knackered. Bland, flavourless. Flat. Well, my beer is flat. It doesn't have any gas to it. But prosaic, every day. When it's prosaic, it's bland, boring, and death-like. No, I quite like prosaic things. It's what makes the world go round. Okay, so things like I can't even get off work to visit Ava. Have to go to the post office to send a few telegrams. And Ava says I have halitosis, vicious, stink, bad breath. Bad, says Vitali. Bad, says Oksana. Bad, says Julia. Bad, says Yasmin. I quite like porridge as well. Bad, says Lando. Bad, says Victoria. Bad, says Maurits. Bad, says El Billy. Halitosis, bad breath. Yes, exactly. Bad, says El Billy again. Bad breath, foul breath, stink breath. Doesn't work. Bad breath, halitosis is the same, but notice, Eva says I have halitosis without breath. You'd have to take out the word breath for halitosis to work. It doesn't fit. Eva says I have halitosis, but not halitosis breath. Yes, it's bad breath, exactly. Vicious breath. Vicious means aggressive, wanting to hurt, dangerous. And stink, it would be stinky breath. Stink is a verb. Bad breath, definitely. Okay, Eva says I have bad breath. Great with almond, honey and raisins. Okay. Kujau had even wrestled, fought, struggled, skirmished with the elaborate Gothic initials he used on the diary covers, accidentally sticking the initials FH to them instead of AH. He has stink breath, doesn't match, no it doesn't. Wrestled. Says Oksana. Wrestled, says Julia. Wrestled, says Maurits. Wrestled, says Vitali. Struggled, says Lando. Baby Lizzie is fine. A great big Lizzie. She's very, very well. Struggled, says Yasmin. Struggled with, says Rauschen. Wrestled, says El Billy. Even struggled with, wrestled with, says Victoria. Struggled with Maurits. Struggled, says Patricia. Struggled, says Manisco. Okay. Skirmished means to fight. Struggled with, says Believe. Welcome, Believe. Skirmished is to fight, is shooting at each other. He wrestled his opponent to the match. Physical struggle. You can wrestle with a problem, but struggle, this gives the idea of having difficulty doing something correctly. So the student is struggling with their pronunciation. Wrestling, you're trying to get it right. And to me, clearly, struggled is much better. Struggled for Lionheart. So much for a forger's skill. He ended up doing 4.5 years in prison. So he wasn't a forger. When you use your body to make an effort, babies babbies, even when they're grown. Okay, to wrestle with, I'm wrestling with this problem. I'm trying to sort it out. I'm struggling with this problem. I'm having difficulty. And I think that's the difference. If you're struggling with something, it's not going well. If you're wrestling with it, you're fighting and trying to get it right. I'm wrestling with the council to get permission. I'm struggling with the council. I'm having problems. Grappled with. You see, grappled with is like wrestled with, but fought with, struggled with. So Kujau even had difficulty with, struggled with, and that's why it struggled, had difficulty with the elaborate Gothic initials. Okay. He had then attempted to age the notebooks by merely pouring tea over them and smashing them on, bashing, crashing, bumping them on his desk. He had then attempted to age the notebooks by merely pouring tea over them. So that's an old chestnut. And smashing, bashing, crashing, bumping them on his desk. Bashing, says Lando. Smashing, says Oksana. Smashing, says Malditz. Struggle to keep up with the pace of videos. Yeah, because I'm producing a huge number. Smashing them on his desk. Bashing, says El Billy. Spoiling them. Yes, I would use the word aging them. Bashing, says Vitali. Smashing, says Manisco. Smashing, says Julia. Bumping them, says Yasmin. Bashing, says Believe. The kids were bashing the piñata with a stick. Hit. Bashing, says Patricia. Smash against. But what's the point with smash, Oksana? What's the real meaning with smash? Because there's a very clear difference between smash and bash. You could smash against, smash on is not a problem. So what's the nuance with smash? Is pressing. No. Second option would be crashing. Crashing doesn't work either. Okay, to smash. Oh, how about enfleur? Enfleur would be lovely. Okay, to destroy. That's it, Vitali. To smash is to break to pieces. I dropped the glass and it smashed. Notice the onomatopoeia with smash. To smash to pieces. It could work here, you smashing them on the desk. It could, but smash, it's talking about pieces breaking off. Whereas bashing is to hit, and he's bashing them on his desk. Crashing, you crash a car into a tree. It's an impact. Something moving crashes. To bump is much more gentle. I bumped into the table. The vase fell off and it smashed. It broke to pieces. So it's bashing, not smashing. Bash, hit someone, yeah. I'll bash you up, Manu. Smash ink. Smash is figurative. Bash means to hit hard, while smash means to break something into pieces by force. That's it, sir. Bashing from Yasmin. Bashing from Julia. I don't get sick of teaching students like you, Manu. Okay, one more and it'll be the last one for today. Smash to smithereens. That's the point. Agree to disagree, though. What helped with the initial authentication of the diaries was that Kujau was such a prolific, fertile, teeming, galore forger of Nazi memorabilia that many of the genuine documents Stern had given to experts to enable them to compare Hitler's handwriting had also been produced by Kujau himself. So they were using his forgeries to authenticate the diaries. Prolific, says Vitali, prolific for Oksana, prolific for Lando, prolific writer for Manu, prolific for Maurice, prolific for Julia and Manu. Fertile, Rauschen, fertile, land is fertile. A person could be fertile. What a career this Kujau. Yeah. Footer. Okay. Prolific, says El Billy. Foot goalie, says Yasmin. Prolific, says Victoria. Prolific for Believe. Fertile sounds wrong. Fertile is something that produces a lot, particularly fertile soil. Prolific means produces a lot of something, especially work. Fertile earth produces a prolific amount of food. Prolific and lucky, quality well met. Quantity met quality. Prolific, says Patricia. She's a prolific writer who publishes several books. Galore. Okay, Yasmin, galore is post-positive. Galore needs to go after the noun. There were people galore at the party. There was food galore available. Okay, so it's noun galore, Yasmin. Noun galore. Needs to go after. In a dilemma. Forgery is when you picture a Mona Lisa that could cheating people. Plagiarism is for books. Plagiarism is for books. Plagiarism is for ideas. Is copying other people's ideas. Forge is to make people believe that it's the real thing, particularly for banknotes. Yeah, have you ever had been given a forged €20 note? Like a top, yes, or this subject I was talking to Oksana about, aglow, to set something aglow. Okay, enough for today. So it was prolific, definitely. Okay, so let's see. That's all. We're quite close to the end of this. So next stream will be on Tuesday. Many websites that check for plagiarism, yes. It's a problem in universities. Tuesday, 3rd of July at 3:30 p.m. UK time. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you all. Okay, so next one will be on Thursday, not on Tuesday, on Thursday. THURSDAY. So Thursday, yeah, that's it. That looks a lot better. Thank you for coming, Vitali. Thank you, Manisco. Thank you, Believe. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, El Billy. Yeah. Okay, so thank you to Believe, thank you to El Billy, thank you to Lionheart, thank you to Yasmin, thank you to Julia, thank you to Lando, thank you to Manisco, thank you to Manu, thank you to Maurits, thank you to Oksana, thank you to Patricia, thank you to Raushan, thank you to Sir, thank you to Victoria, and thank you to Vitali. Well done, all of you. It's been great. So take care, all of you, and I will see you all on Thursday.